To kick off this afternoon's track, we are going to be welcoming Ari Kaufman to the stage. Ari is the CEO of Placeable, and if you know of or have been in the space, you probably know Ari. He is what we call a startup turnaround leader guru with a huge track record that proves success. And he has a vision for Placeable. He wants to be helping the latest and greatest of brands that are enterprise brands understand local marketing and how they can drive traffic in stores, the feed in stores, as well as all of the sales and rising and improving those. So please join me in welcoming to the stage Ari Kaufman.
Here's the, that's just forward, great. Hi, I'm Ari. As the intro is saying, Placeable works with large advertisers. We work exclusively with brand advertisers that have many physical locations. We help them compete like a local player online. I've got some information I'd like to share with you. I don't have a lot of time, so I am going to move kind of quickly. If there's information that you see that you want a copy of or want to hear more about, you can go to placeable.com and download the report. Our lab is doing quarterly research. Because we work with large enterprise advertisers, it's pretty important that we understand the customer as well as the enterprise advertiser, or better. And so some of the information I'm going to share with you comes from our Q1 research. And I think you're going to find this pretty interesting. One of which points is just that we talk a lot about mobile, and we talk a lot about the actions and the activity coming out of mobile. And 73% of mobile searches are triggering some kind of activity, which is good because 55% of consumers now say that they're receptive to an offer. And even 73% are receptive to seasonal offers. We saw this earlier, 55% of a mobile search will result in an action within an hour. But let's look at something interesting. What is that mobile search for? We think of mobile search in a generic term, but mobile search is actually still predominantly secondary to the desktop search. How often do you pick up a mobile device and search for the tires that you're going to buy, or the clothing that you're going to go buy, or something other than restaurants, really? It gets done before you leave the house. It gets done before you leave the office. 70% of the time, you've decided what you're going to get, where you're going to get it, and where you're going to go before you've left the chair. So what's the mobile device really for? Navigation. That's really what we're still using it for. So when we talk about mobile, when we talk about mobile search, it's really still the navigation. So if 18% of the time you're going to follow your phone to the wrong place, we've got a problem, right? And I think all of us knows of an experience, usually when you're on the way to a meeting, when you land on the wrong side of the street or a block away from where you're supposed to be. So if 73%, well, actually, this one is about trust. 73% of the time, if somebody has a bad experience with your data, they're going to blame you. 67% is just purely based on the fact that if they can't find you. So now you're getting into a trust question, right? They can't find you. If their information's not right, they're going to get frustrated. What about where the information's found? Do you get mad at Google? Do you get mad at Yellow Pages? Do you get mad at Yelp when the information's wrong? You do, right? That's where the information's still getting looked at as being wrong. So if you're optimizing your locations through directories, and directories are exposing your consumers to competitive ads, what about this? 61% of consumers said, I'd respond to a competitive ad, especially if I just got annoyed with the fact that I couldn't find good data, or I was on my way to a location, it wasn't there, and I got an ad to a competitor. I might go there first. 73% for restaurants. So brand loyalty is not anywhere near as strong as we think it is in local. Placeable works with enterprise advertisers. We work with some of the largest brands in the world. We help these advertisers compete like a local player. Search shifted 3 years ago to favor local, right? The enterprise advertisers got blocked out because they weren't perceived as local. That's what we do, exclusively local advertisers, 15 years. Our Placeable platform acquires and cleanses and normalizes all the information that a large advertiser has about their locations, which is generally organized or disorganized all over the organization. So it comes from sales, it comes from marketing, it comes from real estate, it comes from operations, and we cleanse and normalize that into a single packaged record that can then be used to power local landing pages and locators, and can be used to share that data. Once your data is placeable, it can be used anywhere, and that's essentially the whole goal. Is if you take an enterprise advertiser, you make their data placeable, then that data can be taken anywhere. You can power geofencing, you can power display, you can power mobile. If the information's right, you can get people where they want to go. But if the information's right, then you also can get an optimizing search. Before I keep going, I want to just take a sidebar for a second. We said before that 71% of consumers make the decision before they leave the house, but only 40% of us do. Right? So very often we're making decisions about our personal experience in doing this, but we're not the consumer. And we make the mistake of thinking like we are the consumer, and we're not. Okay? The consumers have not engaged search the way we have. They don't understand local. How many times have you stood next to somebody who's doing a search on Google and it's, where is the, and you just want them to get out of the way so you can do the search yourself because you're much more efficient at it. We're not the consumer. Couple of takeaways. Understand that there's a difference between found at the desktop and being found on mobile. One's a navigation device, one's content optimization for local. That's something that's important to our customers. Understand that the accuracy of your information, not just name, address, and phone number, but hours of operations, products, services, people, anything unique to your locations should be accurate, has to be accurate. That's more important than getting it out there. If it's out there and it's wrong, it hurts you more than not being out there at all. Local pages will outcompete a directory strategy. Have local pages, drive traffic to yourselves, and convert them. Relying on directories will obviously empower competitors, and the consumers are ready. A large percentage of them are looking for your offers, and if they're not looking at yours, they'll look at somebody else's. Thanks.